It's time for a bit of autumn lawn maintenance. So on today's Pots and Trowels, brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and Mr Fothergill Seed, we're going to be giving the lawn a little bit of TLC. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. It's time of the year when we can start to think about doing a little bit of autumn lawn care, just to help keep the lawn in really good condition all the way through the autumn and the winter, and to make sure that come next spring it grows away really well. So what I've done, I've just buzzed over it really quickly with the lawnmower. I've got the box on. Normally I mulch it where I don't collect the clippings, but I put it on just to pick up any leaves because we've got one or two falling off the trees now, and any bits of tufty grass, just to give me a nice level surface to work on. So why are we doing autumn maintenance at this time of the year? Well, it's had all summer on it, we've had changeable weather on it. Although the grass is still fairly green and looking okay, I want to keep it that way. So the first thing that we would normally do would be to scarify. Now, scarifying is where we rake the lawn, and we often do it in the spring, but this is also a really good time to do it. We rake the lawn to get rid of all the dead material that builds up in the base. It's called thatch. It can be bits of dead weed, bits of dead grass, it can be moss. It's just all the rubbish basically that's accumulated, and if we leave it in, we get this spongy layer that impedes drainage, and it can cause diseases and all sorts of problems. So we need to get rid of as much of that as we can, and if you do it little and often, then it doesn't really build up. So traditional way would be to do it with a rake like this, and I know when I was an apprentice we used to spend hours and hours raking on the bowling greens. This one you can adjust, so it's ideal for if you're using it to rake leaves up, but then you can adjust it so you get a nice tight tine on it there. And the idea is we are literally just raking like this, and as you can see, it's bringing out some of the dead grass from the base of the lawn, and that just opens it up. It lets the air get down there, and it encourages these grasses to grow from the base and really thicken it up. It's this sort of combing, grooming that we're doing to get rid of the dead. Now, if you've only got a small lawn, or you want lots and lots and lots of exercise, this is ideal. But I've got quite a lot of lawn, so it would literally take Jill days and days to do all of this. So instead, we're going to use a mechanical one, not a petrol one. I'm going to use this electric one. They're really easy to use, not expensive to buy, and if I just flip it on its side, we can see that underneath here we've got all of these wire tines that are going to whiz round. That can be exchanged for solid tines if you wanted to do something a bit more drastic. So we're going to use this. We can adjust the setting very easily. The idea is we don't want to go too deep. We don't want to rotivate the saw, we just want to scratch it. So I'm going to just have a little test to see how it's set. So it's just a case of pushing the button in, lift it up to start with so we're not digging in, and I can just feel that digging in a little bit, which is perfect, and we can see there. So I'm just going to do a little bit just to show you. Takes all the hard work out of it. So that makes it really easy to use, and the good thing about this one, it collects it. And if I just take the box off, we can see, although it hasn't really done much to the lawn, it's scratched it, it's taken quite a bit out there, and this is all dead material, dead grass that was in the base. So that is really going to improve the lawn to start with, just that on its own. So first stage is scarifying, and the next thing we need to do is to spike the lawn, and I'm going to use a garden fork for this. You can hire machines that do it for you, but I'm going to use this. It's perfect for it. And the idea is we literally spike the grass, we push the tines in, and what that will do, it will allow air to get down to the roots, and it also improves drainage through the autumn and winter. Now, I'm not going to do all of the lawn because it doesn't need it. What I tend to do is concentrate on areas where we walk a lot, through the gateways, down through the pergola, where the ground gets a little more compacted, especially when we're walking on it in wet weather. So this will really help with the drainage. But just to show you how it works, it's literally the fork in, and I'm just going to push it in to about 4 inches, or if you're really technical we could say 10 centimeters. And if I just push the fork in and then take it out, put my thumb there, that is the sort of depth, and that really helps to get the water down to the roots, and it helps with the drainage. So it's just a case of going over any areas where you think the ground is either a little bit wet at certain times of the year, or it's a little bit compacted, and the water doesn't drain very well. So do the bits that you need to. So I say I'm not going to do the bulk of this, I'll save that for the other areas. But then finally, the third thing we're going to do is to feed. And if you haven't got time to do the scarifying and you haven't got time to do the spiking, please try and make time to feed your lawn, because an autumn feed really does help to keep the lawn in good condition. And this is a granular autumn lawn feed. Don't be tempted to use the leftovers from any lawn fertiliser that you put on in the spring or the summer, because they will be high nitrogen and they encourage lots and lots of lush grass, and we certainly don't want that at this time of the year. Lush grass will be damaged by the frost and it's more prone to disease. So what we need to do is to get an autumn feed that is low nitrogen but it's high on the other elements. So the one we've got here is one that is 4-12-12. That's nitrogen, phosphate and potash. We've got 4% nitrogen, so just a little bit of growth. We've got 12% phosphates, which will encourage a really strong root system to get it through the winter, and we've got 12% potash, which helps induce winter hardiness, and it helps to prevent diseases and just keeps the lawn in really good condition. So you can sprinkle it by hand, or you can use one of the many different types of lawn spreaders that you can get. Some flick it out, this one just drops it out through the base. If you've only got a small lawn, then you can do it. Wear gloves if you want, but it's a case of sprinkling it very thinly, making sure of course that you read the instructions on the packet so you're not overdoing it, and try to time it so that you're putting your fertiliser on before it's going to rain. So keep your eye on the forecast, carry out this work on a lovely dry day, but if it's going to rain in the next couple of days, that is the perfect time to get the fertiliser on. That will then dissolve down into the soil and start to do its job, and your lawn will look good through the autumn, and then next spring it will grow away much, much better. So perfect time to get on the lawn. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and thank you for all your likes and shares. Next time we're going to be in my little orchard. We're going to be harvesting the fruit and doing just a little bit of pruning. That is, of course, if I finish doing the spiking. So we'll see you then. Bye.